Hi guys. This will be a plant vlog. This is a biodome and this is from Park Seed. I will give you all the information that I'm using today. Whatever you see, and also including my lights, where I got it, all the good stuff, because I always wanted to make it easy for everybody so that you can focus on what I'm doing. So this is a biodome. This is a heat pad. It's already been on. I had to dump everything that was in here because there was just something wrong with the inside. One of my husband's starter seed, he wanted to start a pawpaw tree, and we had a few seeds, and it seems like it's just not working this way because it started to mold, so I had to clean everything out. And so we're gonna start from nothing. So this is where the pods are supposed to be. So I'm just going to show you so that you guys won't be wondering later on, but this has no water yet. Okay. So this is a clipping from one of our Wichita blackberry plants. It's thornless, and, it was just right next to the window. What's up, buddy? What's going on? So anyway, sorry, that's my dog. And it was starting to, I think, getting burnt due to the plant light exposure. And this is a very young plant. And you know, my husband was just like, let's just give it a shot. If it doesn't grow throughout the fall, winter, and spring, then it doesn't grow. But if it does, then you'll have a new baby plant. But I'm still planning on actually buying another Wichita blackberry plant. Do you need to go outside, buddy? So that's the story for that one. Here, this is an apple mango, actually, not technically a real mango. If the skin is red and green, that is not a real mango. That's a hybrid. That is cross-pollen. They did that in Japan. It's called an apple mango. And these are lily seeds right here. We've had this lily. It was a gift from my husband's coworker because she knew that I love gardening and I love growing flowers. So she gave him, I think, like 20 bulbs. And this particular lily this came from, I think, one or two maybe. It just gives us so many seeds late in the season. So actually, if you guys even want some, if you just pay for shipping, I could ship them out to you maybe next year, in the summer. But so that's what I've just been trying to do. Well, let's see. So basically, it's, that's just what's going to happen. So, but right now, these just arrived, and this is a basil seed, or a basil seed packet, which has a ton of basil seeds. And don't worry, again, everything will be linked down below, so it's easy for you guys to find them and see what I got. So I'm just going to take that out for now. And I already have a mixture of water and a vitamin supplement that I have been trying out, experimenting, using for a few months now. And I really, really like it. I love the results. I've had actually plants that we really thought they were going to die. And then, in a couple of days, they really sprung back to life. So it's incredibly impressive, and I recommend it. I haven't really done a review on it yet, just because I want to give it probably a lot longer time experience than just a few months. So anyway, I'm just going to pour that in here. Oh, I thought it would be enough, but it's not. So, just so you know, you don't want to put too much, but you just want to make sure there's enough water in the bottom that you don't see the bottom, or certain parts of the bottom are dry. You want to make sure there's water. And it depends on how much you really want the water to be. With this is okay. If I want to, I can fill it a little bit more. Actually, I'm going to fill a little bit more. Maybe about a cup. That looks about a cup. So just a little bit more. And I will add this styrofoam floating base, which this will actually hold. I know it's teetering, but this will be filled with seeds. Not all are going to be basil, because I'm going to, I want to start an indoor herb garden if I can, and I want to try to start it from seed. I just kind of feel like it's easier to do that because it gets acclimated from seed. Germination stage, and, you know, early stages and things like that. It's going to be very acclimated to your environment. So I really like that part. So this is what the pod looks like. This is from Park Seed. And doesn't it look like chocolate cake, like chocolate fudge? It's not chocolate fudge. So there's a teeny hole. There's a hole right there, which you can put a few seeds in there, which I will do. Now, I haven't really made a decision yet, so let me see. I think I'll use 2. Actually, I'll do 4. Just because my family really love basil. So I'm pretty sure we're going to consume basil a lot. So what you need to do now... Oh no, the plastic for the pods aren't shutting. So anyway, so what you need to do here, like the pods will have a hole in them. So what you need to do is I'm going to open my seed packet like that. Just open it up. And I would suggest, this is what I was taught growing up in 1st grade on how to grow from seed and things like that. You want to pour it on your palm, like so. And I'm just going to put a few of them in. It doesn't really matter how many, but a few is great. And the reason you want to do a few is because it's not always 100% the seed will grow. So I put a few in there. I'm going to put that right here. Shove that in right there. I'm gonna do the rest right here. So I got some seeds in my fingers, in between my finger and my thumb, and I just put it in the hole. I'm gonna put it right there. Right there. And here's another one in case you didn't see what I did. Just put it in the hole very, very slowly. Very gently, because the seeds are really, really tiny, if you could see that. So you got to be very careful. I would say I've never really grown basil from seed. I've always bought like fresh basil or dried basil, which is typical with, I'm sure that's very common. So I'm very excited, and I really, really hope that they do grow. They germinate and they grow, because of the fact that I love basil. I love eating basil. I know my family loves to do that too. We all love basil. I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to dislike basil. I think basil is a very delicious herb, and you can actually add it into salad, the dried or fresh. Like, I don't think there's an issue with that. It's just the fresh ones are always very sweet, and to me anyway. And you could always make like a basil tomato salad, or just add it in your regular salad with like lettuce. If you want to do that, you could always do that. Just add fresh basil leaves, and it's just delicious. So anyway, this has been running 24/7 for a while now. And let's see. It's just... So that's why there's a lot of condensation. So this is up to you. Some people, this is an option for you to vent it out if you want to. To vent that out if you want to. Now, just so you know, if you don't vent it out, which I don't think I did before, the last time I used this was a couple years ago. And, you know, due to my head trauma and my amnesia, long-term and short-term memory loss, it's just hard for me to remember all of that. That's why I'm doing a lot of plant vlogs now, because it does help me in the long run to go back and say, oh yeah, I did do that. Yeah, I did do that, you know, things like that, even though I'm going to remember or not remember, probably wrong. It's just what happens. So always promise, because they're not fun and the effects are long and the recovery is very difficult, especially since it's not the same as having a broken leg or broken hand or anything with a cast, where everybody is aware that you are healing. So it's pretty, it's an uphill battle, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there one day at a time. It's not easy, for sure. So anyway, I typically just keep the dome closed. I've grown, I believe I grew morning glories in this. I grew, I really forgot what I grew a few years ago, and even like, yeah, a few years ago, because my husband and I would grow like annuals in it, like from seed, because it was so fun. But ever since we moved out here in our last place, we just stopped doing that. Just, you know, kind of life kind of happened, and we didn't have a lot of room in the one place because we were saving up for a house. So, and we didn't really have a lot of light, and I didn't have the time to do research on lights to add additional lighting in the house. That regular LED light bulbs are okay. I didn't know that. So, anyway, lesson learned. So, I filled 4 different pots, or they call them cells. And this is day 1 for that. You guys watch me put it in. I really don't know how many seeds I put it in. The more, the better. And I haven't decided yet where I'm going to put it. I could put it right next to my other plants. I mean, if I'm growing more than one, why not, right? But I'm also kind of thinking I will put it in the kitchen. And I was also thinking of actually adding some lighting in there. Like, you know, those stick-ons, the LED stick-ons that you get. As long as it's on daylight, it's okay. But I'm also a little worried because I don't know. I've never really grown anything like that before, that close. And I'm worried that it's going to burn the plant. So I hope if you guys have any experience in doing that, if you could let me know down below what you've done, the equipment you've used, any advice, any tips to avoid. And I hope you enjoyed my video, that you are going to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, do hit the subscribe button and the bell so you're notified every single time I do upload a new video. If you guys have any questions in regards to the biodome, let me know down below. I have used this, again, numerous times, and it's always been successful. But I was also using the their own pods or cells, as what they call it. So I would suggest that you use their own cells and what they have really tried and tested, and it does work. I have used other biodomes and it didn't work out. I have used different kinds of cells to kind of put it in here, you know, kind of smush it in there. It just didn't work out. This is the best one in the market. It's a lot more, it's a little bit more than what you would pay for when you get to Home Depot or Lowe's, or certain stores that would sell them, and they're, I don't know, $10, $15. You pay a lot more with this one, but you will get like 100% guarantee that they will actually come out. And actually what really helps them more is the heat pad. The heat pad works really well, and we've tried it without the heat pad like for a few days, and you can really kind of tell a difference because the dome is kind of cold. So I didn't really do a whole season of that without a heat pad. I never tried to experiment it. I was too scared to do it. I didn't want to waste the cells and waste everything. So it was just for like a couple of days. And then I put the heat pad again, and it thrived again. I would recommend do get a heat pad. And we did use a different biodome with the heat pad, and it just didn't work as well. It molded, nothing germinated. If there was germination, it was about 1%. So it was very, like, it was, yeah, it's cheaper to buy right now, but in the long run, is it really cheap when it's just going to be garbage? You just got to think of it like that. This is more expensive, but it's basically, from my experience, it's 100%. Every single cell really does germinate and really does sprout. Again, you have to put in more than one seed per pod or cell. You will have to put in about, I would say, 4 to 5 minimum, up to maybe 8, 9, 10, something like, depending on the seed. Depending on the seed. The smaller the seed, the more you can put in. The bigger the seed, obviously, it's going to be harder for you to shove it in there, but you can try a few still. Never put a pod in there for just one seed. Always try to put more than one. And this is not something for a bulb. It has to be like small seeds and things like that. So don't try to do, shove a bulb in there because it's kind of small. This is the 61. This is the one with the skinniest cell or pod in it. They do sell them in, I believe, 2 or 3 different sizes. And I picked this one because initially I just kind of thought they were really cute. And I kind of thought like I could have a lot of pods or cells versus the 31. I think they also sell in a 40. So this is a 60, and then I think they sell in a 40 and a 30. And it just gets bigger or thicker. Everything, I think the dimensions are all the same. It's just the styrofoam part is thicker or whiter. So you can probably add a lot more seeds, or if you want it to stay there a lot longer, that's also that. But I don't know. For me, like, it just really is a personal preference, I think. Like, I want to do a lot more different kinds and a lot more number of cells to being used than getting 2 different biodomes and 2 different heat pads and stuff like that. So that's why I chose this. And I will also include the refill packs and where you can get those, because you don't really need them all the time. So don't worry about that. You only do need them when you are going to start it. So if you're one of those really amazing, like, plant wizards that you're always growing something in here 24/7 every day of the year, this is always like always filled, then I don't know, because it doesn't cost less if you buy 5 packs. But I would say, though, I'm not going to recommend you buy like too many, just because you don't want it to become old and dry, or too dry. So just be aware of that. If you want some of the moisture to come out, you just kind of flap this right here, and it's going to come out if you want to. I will have to read again. I think I forgot when you're supposed to do that if you want to. I think it's a personal preference. I don't remember opening it at all. If I did, maybe once a week is supposed to what you're supposed to do. So I don't know. If you guys have any tips, advice, let me know down below. If you have other advice or tips of other plants that would be really great and easy to grow indoors all year round and starting from seed like this, let me know down below. I'm only looking at edible plants right now, so first one is basil. I'm thinking of getting tomatoes and bell peppers, rosemary. My husband requested that one time. Sage, you know, basically herbs and edible plants. But don't give me like a huge edible plant that is going to be very difficult to grow, like beans or cucumbers. I'm not a big fan of cucumbers, but I don't know. I brought that idea to my husband, and he was like, well, they explode with, like, you know, they produce a lot of fruit, and I don't know. So anyway, so far, this is what I'm doing. I will update whenever I can. Probably every week with minimum, and maybe a lot more than that. But just keep on an eye out with this. I will update you guys. If it goes south, I will still update you guys. If it doesn't, I will update the progress every single time. I hope you enjoyed my video, that you're going to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. Time I do upload a new video. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.